Hey, how's it going? Uh, I am Stuart Lewis, the action artist, and I'm coming to you live, and I'm going to do some live drawing. And I think I have it set up good enough, pretty much where I can give you an overview shoulder. My house is a little messy right now. Sorry, even my walls are messy. You can't see it, but my dog. I took him for a walk. It was raining. I had to. No choice, and he got wet and just shook all over my doors and walls and everything. So I still have to clean that up. But instead of doing that, I'm gonna do live drawing instead. Just gonna hang out and work on some stuff. Got some markers or some pens, basically. I finally got a nice set of pens. I'm building my channel here little by little. So anyway, yeah. There's some subtle changes to the armor, but nothing huge. And I was trying to think of some stuff I've never drawn before, so I might have to stop to look up some reference real quick. But I was trying to think of some kind of animal to add an ambiance to it. You know what I mean? And everybody's used bats too much, so I bring you pigeons. And just kind of sketching out some pigeons right now. I've never really drawn pigeons before, and that's the challenge of being a comic book artist, is you have to be able to draw pretty much everything on the fly. But here's a Nutjob coming to your town soon. Not coming to a town near you, coming to your town soon. Yeah, there he is, man. He's up on the building tops. He's fully armored. I'm gonna put an eagle behind the star. So he's gonna have an eagle on his chest and two crosses. So, and he's got a star on his eye on that big armored like plate right there on the front of his. It looks like a big giant eye. He's kind of our, the guy who created this armor, of course, the main character. He's I looked up zealot, and I looked up the words synonyms for the word zealot, and one of them was nut. A zealot is considered a nut, so Nutjob fits him perfectly. He's a zealot. He's a modern day zealot, and his armor represents almost more of a family crest. It's gonna be, he's got two crosses going down the side. He's got the star for sovereignty, and he's probably gonna have an eagle too on his chest behind the star eventually. So I'm working on that. And there's some pigeons, and he's got some bread out. You can see he's standing, he's like bored, probably hanging out a little bit. He's not usually bored for long, because usually either a drone finds him or the police see him or somebody sees him standing around on the rooftops on the on the rooftops and calls the police on him, calls the authorities. But anyway, he's got some bread slices out. This is a pretty cool picture of Nutjob. He's got like a huge gun, basically, that you never know what's going to come out of the barrel of it. He makes all his own rounds and stuff. He's an interesting character. He's a modern day zealot. And he likes to feed the pigeons, I guess. So what I really want to do, this is kind of a one-point perspective shot. So I got this piece of paper over here, and I'm gonna kind of work on some of the buildings in the background that I roughed in there. You know what I mean? And just kind of add some details. Where's my straight edge? Right here. There we go. So I got to figure out where all these lines are converging. I'm going to say it looks like I tried to sit. So I'll pick a midpoint. It's about somewhere around here, I think. So these transparent straight edges are the best. They're also kind of rulers too. So I'm going to say X marks the spot over here. And I also have another drawing roughed out under here. I don't know if you can see it. If I put this on. My nice tracing table. Can you see the other one? He's like over the city. It's like a bird's eye view, and he's like in the air over the city, kind of like you would see Spider-Man or Captain America or Daredevil or something like that. You know, it's like a bird's eye view. There's like a dome in the, you know, there's like city streets down there and whatnot. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty cool. I wanted them to look slightly patriotic, you know what I mean? Like, because that, you know, if you're a young white kid, grew up in America, and you wear a patriotic T-shirt to school now, you can get suspended. Yeah, the public schools will suspend you for that type of stuff. So I'm kind of rubbing this in the face, but it's not my only intent. I think it makes for an exciting storyline that even though he's patriotic and doing the right thing, he gets in trouble, kind of like some kid. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the cross start here on both sides and just kind of streak down his armor. They're going to be red. I'll get to the comments right now. I'm just drawing. I'm doing a live draw because I said I would, and you know, I want people to learn as well. I'm trying, you know, I want people to kind of, you can see my whole process. I've changed this character a few times since I started this channel because I'm really trying to hone in. Looks like I can bring that all the way down to here, actually. Yeah, there's where the armor ends. So I just kind of got to put, so there's one cross. Oh, let me shut this light off. There's one cross. The eagle's going to look something like, I might have to make the star smaller if I put the eagle in there. So let's see. No, I could have the eagle. No. I don't want to do that. I don't want to overlap the star. The star's got to overlap the eagle. So, got to be like, something like this. I'm doing his new emblem live. You know, I've got his armor down. Now I'm just kind of decorating it. It's almost kind of Space Marine-ish. You know, I'm not going to lie. I've been, you know, just like everybody else, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. If people find like my art and my ideas and it influences you to do an armored patriotic vigilante right now, then hey, that's awesome. Let me see the pictures when you're done. Send them to me and I'll be thrilled that I inspired somebody. I'm more of an open source kind of guy where like everybody should be able to, you know, if you took my exact idea, Nutjob, and copied me exactly, then I could be, you know, if I did influence you, it'd be nice if you would give me credit. Be like, yeah, you know, this kid over here influenced me with his Nutjob stuff. So there it is. There it is, like a rough eagle on his chest with a star and a cross down each side. So he's basically a zealot. The ends justify the means type of character. Complete rebel. Never worked for the bad guys ever once before. Not a reformed bad guy. Not a reformed military. He's a working class hero. This should be Nutjob. Working class hero is what this should be called. Nutjob. The working class hero. It's about a working class guy that gets screwed and becomes a superhero to rescue his son and to try to save what's left of society, basically. He's not compromising. Nutjob's not compromising. And he's not keeping his head low either. Nutjob's not keeping his head low. Like a lot of people, you want to try to keep your head low and go along with the corruption. That's That's up to you. All right, cool. So I got the other cross in there. Look at that. We got some pigeons. Isn't that cool? He's got. Try not to do too much detail right now. A little bit, but more I'm concerned with structure at this point. I don't know if you can kind of get a view of what I'm doing. I can kind of. I could. Oh, that's what I want to do first. I want to establish some of these lines. Sorry. See, I get distracted. I start. Yeah, these things are great. You can line up. There's guidelines all the way through this, and it's transparent, so I can find the edge of the paper, which is factory cut. You know, the factory edge. I can line this guideline up with the factory edge right here, and then I already know that I'm, level. And I'm not. I probably, I don't know. Should I tilt the angle a little bit? I don't know. I got pretty much a dead. Like level horizon line. I think the horizon line would be right about. Looks like you're almost right just under his knees. Almost would be where the horizon. Well, I got it here, so yeah, I guess maybe that's more accurate. Seems like it might need to be a little bit more down here though, where his knees are, because here's the edge of the building. It's almost like you're down. Let me see if I move that horizon line down. Even more, or this, not horizon, this, let me just see if I want to make this a 2-point perspective, I think. So I'm going to move this to the center and put down another piece of, I'll use this piece of scrap paper right here. So right now oh, that's what I was going to say. This picture right here, this is a background that I made. Let me show you what I got going on here. Here's my rough sketch of Nutjob right here. Here's my background that I sketched out. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is like trace him over this background. I'm going to place him where I want him, right? Like this somewhere, down a little bit low, so I got space for, wording and stuff up here. I'll put them like somewhere around here. Tape it all down. Make sure the tape covers both of them, so they're both stuck down. I usually go right where these intersections are, here, here, then maybe here and up here. But anyway, yeah. But my point being is, if you're working on a big background that's taking up the whole page, you're like, and say you're limited for space and you don't have a big drafting board, what you can do is work small. So this was a little tiny sketch right here. This was a little tiny sketch about this big, or you can do it this way too. Like, it's probably smarter if you're doing a 2-point perspective. So if you're doing a 2-point perspective, what you can do is you can shrink it down, draw your background. Just don't do it detailed. get the main structures like this. And then put your horizon line in there, and then put your vanishing points like that. All right, and then put your do like all these artists teach you. Then do your grid like this, and you know what I mean. And then put your your buildings in there. You know what I mean. You know. You know what I mean? So whatever. And then you got your buildings in there and your clouds. You know what I mean? Your sun or whatever, your moon, I don't know, whatever, some more buildings in the background, right? Then go to a photocopier somewhere, Staples, whatever, cross wherever, you know, in your nearest one you got, get on the bus, whatever you got to do, go blow that up into that. Then, you know, now all I got to do is trace my lines. The lines are already pretty much there. And I don't think the perspective is absolutely perfect, but, you know, he's going to cover some of it. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But anyway, I have that right there. These are just, I've already kind of lightly put them together on one page, but now I'm going to I want to go over the whole thing. And so that's right there. So this I'm going to move to center right now. Take this down. What do I need? I think I need it to be more kind of, I'm just kind of experimenting around myself right now, so tell you the truth with this perspective, because I'm not a pro, and sometimes, you know, well, I am sort of a pro. I've sold my artwork before, but I'm not messing around now. Now I'm really learning like the proper, you know, the proper way to do things, because this comic book is getting pretty close to complete. Here's a sketch right here. See that? That's looking pretty badass. I was thinking about having them. All right, so he's praying and praying about the corruption. And one night while he's sleeping, he's visited by an angel. He doesn't even know it yet. The angel shows up later, and the angel shows up later in the storyline and reveals himself. But the angel kind of gives him a dream where the schematics for this armor are kind of downloaded into his consciousness. You know what I mean? And then he just goes about building it. And then he kind of paints it, you know, decorates it the way he wants to. But generally, you know, this looks like a decent. I really got to get a mannequin or something, or some action figures. I'm telling you, I'm doing this all straight out of my head. So what I've been doing is making a ball shape right there, dividing the armor. Bring this piece up there, and then yeah. Something's up with this arm. It's bothering me. It's too fat. There we go. Narrow this arm down. So I'm doing doing the roughs here live. Okay, I gotta tape down this piece of paper right here for a second. So I gotta work out the background here. If I have to, I'll shrink this. If I can't do this now, if I can't get it done here because it's because I don't have enough room for my vanishing points, then I'll shrink this picture down at a photocopier and do this again later. But you can see basically what I'm trying to do here. So if I can, like, say, drop the horizon line. It's hard to see the edge of the white paper here. Let me make some marks. Yeah, there we go. Gotta make sure this fucking thing is level. I think it's gotta be. It doesn't have to be perfect, so it's just gotta be close. So here's my horizon line. Arrow here. And put an arrow right here. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, so doesn't work, then oh well, then I suck for now, and I got to come back and do this again later. And this is why I like to work with the pros, so they could be like, hey, you know, Stu, you're doing that all wrong. Oh, see, it's already not working out, man. I almost just want to eye it. This, like, I almost have to shrink this way down because this vanishing point, the way I have this perspective drawn, is like way the hell out here somewhere. Let me see. If I, it might work. Let me see. So if I say, okay, well, this almost matches. So let me see. Here's the roof, or here's the roof he's standing on. Right on the very corner of it there. I want it to look kind of precarious. It already looks less precarious, though. That kind of bothers me. Because that's why I wanted the angle that I had. It's close, but it's not the same. It's all about the kind of feeling you're trying to invoke too, I guess, with your artwork here. So okay, we're gonna see what happens now. Hopefully, it looks better. If I don't like it, then I'm not gonna finish it because everything's kind of changing now on me. So here's this building. I don't think it's gonna work. It's like too fucking. That angle's way too sharp. I could bring the height of the building down, I guess. This is me doing, yeah, see, I don't like that. I gotta bring the height of this building down. All right. Let's see if I feel like I don't want to do that, though, because that fucking defeats the point of this whole. I want this building behind him for contrast, because if you can see what I'm trying to do here, what I'm trying to do is I want the light to be coming from behind the building, so I want the face of these buildings to be black, so that he'll pop out You know what I mean? With the shadowed side of the buildings behind him. And then I was going to leave a space right here where you can see some sky, you know, just so the buildings don't take up everything, and then maybe have some lower buildings in the background. So I'm not going to change this. What I have to do is get to this one later. But anyway, you can see it, and it's coming out pretty cool. I got to shrink it down. I can't, the way I have the perspective set up, it's 2-point. Unless I could try to do it as a 1-point. Let me try to do it as a 1-point. Just that 1 point will be way the hell over there. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. So I'll erase these new lines here. I might be able to do it as a 1-point perspective. So this is me. This is pinup art that I'm working on when it's done. You know what I mean? Should look really cool. I'm going to use these new pens I have to make it. As you can see, I can't wait to break this pen set open. It's brand new. I didn't want to get the ones that people sit there and go and write with all day. And they didn't have a 3-pack or a 4-pack. They had this 6-pack. So I got the .08. I got them all down from the .08 down to the 005, basically, or the triple or yeah, the 005. Can't see anymore. So there's that. So let's try to work this out, this drawing out as a 1-point perspective. Let's see if that works out. So once again, I got to kind of reestablish this. Well, let me see. I might be able to let's do this. So just going to draw that whole line for now. And then wherever these two intersect, which is off the page, but so let me do this side for this one first. This is the line for the roof that he's standing on, so I have to know where that is. Where's that intersect? Okay, so I'll just push it to the very limit. Oh, actually, what I'll do is I'll move this over even further. As much as I can. So I'm way out here now. I'm trying to get a perspective. This is what a drafting board is good for, but I'm kind of doing it without one. At least I have this little tracing thing, which works really great. If you don't have one of these, don't get a little tiny one. Get a big one, man. Spend the extra money. Get a big. They're only like, I don't know, 40 or 35 or 40 bucks or something. So let's do this again. Okay, that's close enough. All right, so I have my, I think that might work. We'll see if this works. Let's do a 1-point perspective. And everything else has to be horizontal. I don't know if that's going to be dramatic enough, but that's what I'm shooting for. So everything else has to be close, pretty much close to horizontal. It has to match this horizon line that I made. So I'm going to ink this all live. And this has to be pretty much vertical. The vertical lines all have to be vertical. The horizontal lines all have to be horizontal, and then the other lines in perspective all have to be in perspective. It just doesn't seem to work. Maybe. Let me give it a chance, and I really think I might have to shrink this down and work on the backgrounds, and then do the same thing. Trace the background in behind the figure, because I don't have enough room. I could go do no. You know what? I don't have to do that. What I could do is I can shut down the live stream. I have a bigger table. Just clear off the spot on like my kitchen table, and get the perspective for the shot down, and and then get back on later tonight. It's the weekend anyway. I'm not at work today, as you can see. I'm usually at work right now because I'm a working class hero. And so, I have time to do this. I got laundry hanging right now too as we speak, because like I have to multitask. I don't have time to just sit around and do this stuff, Sucks, but that's just the way it is, I have to do this while I do other things, or I don't have a wife, because I don't want to take the risk of getting married anymore. Just ask all these artists who are on their second, third marriages. I'm just not doing it. And so I have to do my own laundry, cook, chores, maintain my house. If some shingles break loose, I gotta fix them. I can't be messing around. But I love comic books. I've always loved comic books. That doesn't look too bad, but I still don't like it. I'm not going for too bad. See, my line, I might be able to eye it right now, because I've done it before, and you shouldn't, but I might be able to eye it all right now. Basically. What if I just switch sides of my drawing board? Do all the lines that go this way. Let me see. Okay, let me do a vertical line. Either way, the vertical lines are vertical. That's pretty much the cool thing. No matter what, I know the vertical lines are all vertical. I hope you guys are having fun watching me struggle here. But at least you're getting a little an idea. See, now I'm up against this notch. But these rulers are flexible, so fear not. I just have to... Let's see, it's somewhere around here. In the corner of the building. Is there any spaces there? Nope, no spaces. Just right here, right down to the building that he's standing on. So let me see. I gotta make sections up here. That's about right. Just eyeing it. Just gonna kind of eye these out real quick. Kind of makes a little grid for me anyway to work from. You know, I can fix. I don't have. You know, when you. That's what. Oops, I hit the wrong mark. Later on with the inks is when you know you can fix all the. Make sure the lines are more precise. But anyway, it's good. Pencils give you the idea. Just you gotta get everything kind of mapped out with pencils though, where you can start messing around with your inks. Yeah, Comicsgate. You know, the problem that I see with it, okay, I was just basically watching a young lady's video earlier, and she was talking about how her and her husband tried to open a comic shop, and it was a nightmare. And you know, I don't really necessarily have to say any names, or I mean, you know, I mean, if you want me to prove it to you, I can, but you know, or you can just take my word for it. And that it was, she's like talking about, you know, her Comicsgate story of her and her husband tried to open a, it's a little too, no, this one's a little bit too large. Being a little picky, but whatever. Yeah, her and her husband tried to open a comic shop, and because of all the political stuff in Comicsgate, it was just a nightmare. And that a bigger comic shop she tried to use as a role model to for her store. This bigger comic shop gave her a hassle, said no, you know, that's our idea, you can't do that. She made a VIP section for people that were more serious, like adults mainly too, you know, that were more serious about comics. There was a VIP section where you could actually handle the comics and read them and stuff, you know. People that were more trusted, reliable customers, there was a VIP section you could pay for her membership, and she got in trouble for that. And you know, I am sympathizing with her, but at the same time, I pointed out, I said, well, you know, I said, let me ask you a question. You know, you're saying you're a conservative, and that's what got you in trouble. I said, where's your husband? If you're a traditional conservative American, and I'm going to get to my point too. I'm basically going to prove my point. All right, there's that. Let me get this other building in here. If you're a traditional, like, conservative American, and you're a female, then why is your husband not doing the video? Why are you the spokesperson? Where's your husband, right? So this is what I asked myself before the video was over. I can show you too. And I asked her, I paused the video, and I said, yeah, you know, you say you're conservative, but you know, where's your husband, basically? And and I said, well, here's the deal with conservative white males. They judge you by whether or not you're married or have a girlfriend. And if you don't, you can go to any church, you know, it's conservative, traditional American Christian value church, supposedly. And if you're a bachelor, people will treat you like a pervert and say, keep saying, hey, when you gonna meet a girl? Hey, when you gonna meet a girl? Hey, when you gonna meet a girl? Right? Like they're gonna in other words, everything about you is defined by whether or not a woman supports you. So I said, so the point of the story is very few white men are getting married anymore, like myself. I was married once, and I'm never going to do it again. I learned my lesson, boy. I learned my lesson. So my point being is, you know, I was like, so this is the problem we have. When the few white males that are making it into the entertainment business and everything, in my opinion, are usually have connections, or are like, you know, let's take like, you know, Comicsgate. You will see that the quote leaders of Comicsgate are married guys. They're married guys with children. They're all like, or their friends that the married white guys have brought in. And out of their friends, you will see that it's when it's that they bring on, it's that don't even create comics. It's the same as an SJW party. It's effeminate white guys like Cecil. I'm just going to name names because I don't care. I'm not against Cecil. Cecil makes me fucking laugh. Cecil makes me laugh my ass off. My point is let's not fool ourselves that Comicsgate is any different. It's a feminine guy that's not even really a comic creator. He's just there. He's friends. You know what I mean? He's connected with these people because he's friends. My point is a conservative, a successful conservative white privileged male who's okay. Like, in other words, let me put it to you like this: Ethan Van Sciver is a Mormon. Mormonism is a community. He had the support of a community. Now, if you're a poor white male that's not part of the Mormons or not part, you didn't grow up in a Mormon family, you didn't grow up in a Christian family or whatever, if you're, you know what I mean? Basically, if you're not a part of some church, you know what I mean? And my parents didn't want me to be brainwashed by churches. They wanted me to make my own choice. So they didn't force me to go to Catholics, to Catholic church and Catholic school and all that. My point being is, if you're a disconnected, poor working white male who's not fortunate enough to have connections or have a community of support, who's going to support you if other wealthy, successful white males don't support poorer white males? And I don't mean give them free things. I mean, give them opportunities. If other successful white males don't give poor young white males with no opportunities more opportunities and choices, then who's going to help the poor white males? The Asian community? Nope. The female feminist community? Nope. Let me see. The black community? Nope. Is the United Negro College Fund going to help the poor white kid? Nope. Let me see. Let me go through the list. Who's going to help the poor white kid? Right? I'm going to give you a real example. I'm not going to name any names. A relative of mine has an Asian family that's friends. He's a white male. He's a veteran. That relative was standing out in front of their house with the driveway, and they were talking about cars and because there was some, a car, the Asian guy was getting rid of a car, and the American veteran white male in my family was buying it for his one of his grandchildren. And the subject came up about food and whatever, and and the veterans and the veteran's son, who everybody hates because he's a white male, and who has few, and he doesn't have money, and he doesn't want to be rely on his parents for money. He can barely afford food, so he was talking about, oh, well, I basically only eat this because this is all I could afford. And the Asian guy went, nah, like that, whose parents own a restaurant, and he's, they all drive around brand new fancy cars, and the veteran has to sit there and watch his son, who he has no idea what the future of his son's going to be like, just kind of get like, oh, stupid American from his Asian friend's son. I'm telling you, this is a real story that I'm telling you. So my point being is, and the Asians stick together, and the Latinos stick together. The only people. So now let's get back to what I was saying. So now I said to her, "Where's your husband?" And then I continued watching the video, and she said, "Now the reason that everyone's saying that we had to close our comic shop." I had to say all that to say this. Her husband's a white male. I'm assuming her husband's a white male. Just an assumption. I could be wrong. I should find out. And if I do, I will tell you, because I asked her a question. Let's see if she ignores me, that means I'm right and she doesn't want to admit it. So my point being is, is um she said the reason that everyone's saying we shut down our and if her husband's not white, it almost proves my point even more. That even our, it's like even white women don't even want to go out with white men anymore. They're so hated. So my point being is, yeah, she said the reason that everyone's saying they shut down her comic book store is because everyone was saying that, accusing her husband of being too, she was even saying it sarcastically, but too mean and confrontational, basically, when he talked about the Comicsgate issues. But it's safe for her to talk about it. Once again, back to my point, like I've said in my video before, because nobody listens to men, especially white males, anymore. And if you do have an opinion, you're an asshole and you should keep your mouth shut. And that's what I said to her. So I wrote another comment where I came back and I was like, basically, you just answered my question. As your husband's not doing doing these videos. You are, because even Comicsgate is because any poor white male who's complaining in Comicsgate is an asshole. And so I said, so he's lucky he has you as his wife to make videos for him, because he'd be screwed. Nobody would even care about him. And I'm not going to hide behind a woman. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not. If this country's so stupid that it's going to discriminate against me because I'm a white male and not listen to the things that I'm saying, then hey, this country deserves everything it gets, in my view. That's just the way that's the way that cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? And that is how the cookie's crumbling. You go look at these white males. Who are they helping? They're helping females. They're helping. The Comicsgate is becoming just like DC and Marvel. It's like, oh, you better. White males will have nowhere. Conservative white males will have nowhere to go. Basically, poor ones with no connections will have nowhere to go. Basically, once again, thank you, Comicsgate. Poor, I'm just telling you, man. Like, basically, because these you see these white males who have made it and have been successful for 25 years. They're surrounding themselves with black dudes, Latinos that have already made it in the business. They've already made it. They've already been doing comics for 25 years. So nobody's gonna help. Once again, poor white males, and you can't have a community to help poor white males. So once again, Comicsgate is just basically doing SJW's work for them, and elevating women and minorities. That's my point. Who are already covered by affirmative action, basically. They're already covered by women and minorities are already covered by affirmative action, but the successful white artists in Comicsgate are going to still help women and minorities, basically, and that's where this is at. And I'm sorry that it has to be that way, but I'm just pointing this out, man. Affirmative action has to go. Man, I can't even believe I got to say this stuff. Affirmative action has to go, man. It has to go. I'm telling you, man. It is just incredible what is going on. Yeah, you're judged by conservatives judge you by are you married? You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? That's how they judge a man. Everything is about, and it's all happy wife, happy life. And oh, you're not married? Okay, there's something wrong with you. And this whole thing about veterans too, you don't help the veterans by giving them free comic books. You help them by making sure poor males don't have to join the military. They're not fighting for my rights. They're fighting for they're fighting for their college education. They're like poor. They have no choice. They got to join the military because they're men. And you know what I mean? And nobody cares about them, especially white men. Just go in the military, go machine gun people overseas so you can get a college education, which I don't even think they're doing that anymore. I think it's just a big pharmaceutical tranny gay orgy basically in the military now. I mean, even the president had to come out and say no more trannies in the military. I mean, and I think the president is involved in that too. I like the president did a tranny video with Mayor Giuliani of New York. Trump did, so it was all a big joke. So I think, I think it's all just show more, and I'm usually right. I'm right like 95% of the time, which sucks. That's what really sucks, man, I'll tell you. Let's see if this works now. No, still not enough room. I'm going to need mad room, or I'm just going to have to eye it, and I think I'll just eye it. If it doesn't work out, I'll just either work on this perspective shot later. But here, let me see if I can just eye it. It's not that much to eye. It's really disappointing. I'm telling you, the veterans in my families have to worry about the future of their children, while foreigners whose families didn't even fight for this country are doing better than their children. The veterans didn't fight for nothing. You can't tell me. Anybody that wants to tell me that veterans are fighting for my rights, I'm just like, F you, man. Veterans are not fighting for my rights, man. They're fighting for, the whole country's basically communist because of affirmative action. We live in a communist country, man. Period. I don't care what anybody says. This is a communist country where women have to make videos because if their poor white male husband says anything, people just say, shut up, like me, shut up. I said, your husband's just like me. If he talks about Comicsgate, then he's a bad person. But she can come on here and have a Comicsgate channel, and she's got 320 subs. And so, if that's the way conservatives want to, if that's considered conservative, then, c'est la vie, America. Because I'll tell you what, man, if you let women run things, boy, you go look back at any period in history where women were allowed to run society, and you will find society was violent. Society was violent. When men are usually in charge, it's not perfect. We're in big trouble. I should play a clip before I'm just eyeing this out right now. This is me drawing by it with, not using straight edges and rulers and all that crap. Can you see what I'm doing here? And then this has got to be somewhere around there, deciding this all the fuck out. And I think this has got to be, and then the edge of the building's got to be right around here somewhere. Anybody says I can't draw, man, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I'm trying to basically say, let's not fool ourselves that Comicsgate is fucking conservative, man. Because you're lying to yourself. Comicsgate ain't conservative. Comicsgate ain't conservative, man. Don't even fool yourself. Sitting in there obsessing over. No, I see the stuff that Comicsgate people talk about in the chats, man. and it ain't nothing conservative. I heard Cecil making jokes about little girls, basically James Gunn jokes, you know, stuff like that. Trust me, man. If Comicsgate represents conservative people, then we're in worse trouble than even I think we're in. Basically, holy crap, man. Not trying to be mean, just trying to tell it how it is. So I guess if the truth hurts, then I'm sorry. Sorry. All right. I don't even know what I'm gonna do tonight. Besides, I'm drawing now, obviously, but so there you go. There's a building in the background now. So he's got pigeons around him. He's chilling. He's a peaceful guy when he's not being peaceful. Let me get rid of this detail because I don't want to do any detail yet. The amount of detail I put on him is going to depend on the background right now. I don't want him to. I want him to stand out. I'm going to keep him kind of light if I can, and you know what I mean. Just shade the darker areas. All right, that looks like that might do it. So here's a bird stooped over eating. So there's a little pigeon. You know how pigeons are. They're always. Is this food? Oh, okay. Is this food? Oh, no, okay. Is this food? No, it's not food. All right. That's how pigeons are. There's another pigeon I'm roughing in there. Just putting the little pigeons in. I'm wondering, I kind of want to move this guy. I want to move this guy down a little bit. All right, so let me get the. I'll check. I'm going to take a break in a minute. I'm not getting off air. I'm just going to take a break and go to comments and stuff. And if anybody wants me to address anything, you know. Pretty cool. He's got crosses on his shins now. That look pretty tight or what, people, huh? That look pretty tight? No, I think it's pretty cool, actually. Maybe I'll put some, maybe I'll put some something like this. something like some details like that up in the top floor, or something like that. You know what I mean? I'll just lighten those up for now. Yeah, or something like that. You know what I mean? Some little just for detail. I'm gonna throw stuff like that into later. Right now, I gotta get these other buildings. There's another building right here. Wait, first let me get the roof started that he's standing on. So, yep. I'm gonna have a smoke here in a second and a coffee. Just give me a minute. Just darkening in this roof that he's standing on. Yeah, I gotta start getting serious now, people. Can't be playtime's over, everybody. No, I really do, man. This comic book is really getting close to fruition now, and it's been trust me, it's been years of hard work. Oops, I went through his foot there. I hate when I do shit like that. That's the type of stuff you don't want to do with ink. I'm gonna have a guest on Sunday, too. By the way, guest. I think Sunday broadcast somewhere around 12 or noon. I'm gonna have a guest on, and that's pretty cool. Where did I lost my original line because of all the messing around I did. There we go. Something like that. And then I got a slope inwards. Like that. I got everything all turned around all crazy right now. Yeah, let me get back to let me get reoriented. Okay, so just filling that in because it was bothering me. Let me see. I gotta get over here. There's this building. I'm just giving you the rough idea, basically. I'll probably put some more details on later. This has got to be somewhere around here. Somewhere around there. So I'm laying another building in the background here, as you can see. I'm just making a big block, basically. Nothing. I'm gonna add some details later. But the point is yeah, I'm gonna have these shaded black, so that'll pop his body out, pop him out a little bit here. The face of this building should be black. I might leave some white lines to divide the different floors there or whatever. But yeah. And so this is basically almost straight across this building right here. Slight angle, ever so slightly on it, so yeah, let me sorry, I'm almost ready for a little break here. So see, I can look right through this and use this line right here as a guide. So as long as I'm lined up with that, I know I'm vertical. There we go. So there's the rooftop that he's on, basically, you know what I mean? And then there's like, you know, 3 buildings in the background. One down here, one up here, one, you know, right there. And then there's some pigeons right there. A little bit of bread down on the ground there. Because he's a wicked nice guy. He loves animals. He doesn't hurt animals. He just only hurts people, bad people, really. You're not innocent. Kind of like Ghost Rider. If he doesn't think you're innocent, he's gonna try to bait you. If you're not really bad, he's gonna try to bait you and then punish you. And if you're really bad, he's just gonna, you know the story. You know the story of Nutjob. All right, since I got pretty much everything outlined, you know, I just kind of got to go blah, blah, you know, throw some clouds in like this. There you go. There's some pinup art of Nutjob for you guys. The modern day zealot. I don't want to move this because I have it all lined up perfectly, but I can peel this away. And there's the other pinup that I'm working on right there. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it, people? I don't know. So there's that. A little bit of pinup art. Let me take a break here. Check the chat out. Let me get resituated. This shit off to the side. I don't know how much longer I'll actually be on, but you know, it's enough for now, if you ask me. It's enough drawing for now. I need a little break here. This is my t-shirt. I designed this t-shirt myself. It's got an eagle on it. It says Americana because I am American. I am a piece of Americana. All right, I changed my mind. Instead of having coffee, I'm having a Berkshire Brewing Company beer called Shabadoo. Shabadoo! No, just joking. No, this shit's good, man. I have a viewer. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Nutjob coming for a town near you, viewer. I have a viewer. Hey, what's going on? What's up, cave creature? Hey. Oh, thanks for the advice, Cross Comics. Yeah, I need to work on my I gotta go look up. You know, I've perfected my figure drawing. Now I gotta work on my color, my anatomy, and my proportion is good. You know what I mean? And my poses are nice and natural looking. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this pose of him right here, very natural. He's like squatting down. You know what I mean? Now I gotta really pay attention to my background drawings, Rick. Or I gotta really start working on my perspective, basically. I'm not doing bad though. I think that looks pretty good. I got pigeons instead of bats. Nutjob hangs out with pigeons. See, he's got the star. I'm just looking to see if you can see. He's got the star on his eye now. He's got an eagle on his chest. Thank you, Cave Creature. You're awesome too, by the way, bro. So let me look at, I'm going to read. Oh, hey, Traversable. Sorry, Traversable. Wow, a bunch of people have stopped in Space Galleria. Thank you, people, for even stopping in. And thanks for hitting the like button, because it looks like everybody hit the like button. Micron, yes. You know, better than what I'm working with right now, which is, here, I'm going to mess around with them in a minute. And which is and don't get me wrong, man. If I have my if I had my choice, if I had my choice of ballpoints and stuff like that, Papermate is the way to go. Thank you, Papermate. It's just if you start using whiteout and drawing over pencil a lot and stuff like that, it really, those Papermates will make you screw up sometimes, because they don't go over pencils and whiteout and stuff as well as like a felt tip. And a felt tip will get jammed up too eventually, but it'll take a little. If you wipe it off, if you go over whiteout with a felt tip and you wipe it off a little bit, you know what I mean? It'll be fine. Just takes longer for it to get messed up than a ballpoint. Or no, the ballpoint keeps working. It's just it won't miss the mark. A ballpoint will keep missing the mark on it. Or a felt tip, as long as you keep the point cleaned off, it's not going to miss the mark. Doggy drama. All right, it's just neighbors. It's just my neighbors. So Micron's much better than Papermates. Hey, Stu. Hey, Cave. Hey, everyone's saying hi. Nice armor. It is pretty detailed. Yes, I think the new armor is it's kind of Space Marines, except look at that helmet, dude. That helmet's pretty kick butt, man. I gotta learn how to draw pigeons, man. Got an eagle and a star with he's got crosses on his armor now. Wait till I'm gonna do his motorcycle like some kind of, rocket looking motorcycle, here, why don't I rough one out really quick, like a Kira or something, kind of like something. Oh, I found like the one brand new mechanical pencil that doesn't work recently. I think that was it. Nope, maybe that one was it. Yeah, here we go. All right, cool. Yeah, that's it. I swear to God, it's a brand new mechanical pencil with no lead in it. So anyway, yeah. So, I want something with like a big kind of, you know what I mean? With like this, with like, where like the whole front wheel's almost covered. There's like a windshield, headlights. Yeah. So like, you know, something like this where he's like this. Like that. Just like a huge motorcycle. You know what I mean? And like, but I want it to have like a, let me just see if I can I'm just gonna kind of quick rough out what I'm kind of talking about. And it comes up behind like this somehow. Like this. Some kind of big thing like this, right? Where the back here is convertible. It's a convertible motorcycle right here. And so when he wants to, he like hits a button and it makes a shell around him like this, you know. See if I can makes a protective shell around him. Like that show where the car did that, made it armor. So it looks, so when the shell is up, it looks like this. You know what I mean? Kind of like, and he's like inside of it, sort of. There's like a windshield. Excuse me, I didn't draw the windshield. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that would be tight. Nobody's done that before. A convertible motorcycle with a bulletproof shield around it. That would be pretty tight. I am back. I 1 point you can only show one face of the building behind him. Yeah, no doubt. You're right. No, you can get two faces in there. You can show two. You can get two faces in with 1 point. I think. Pretty sure. Looking great, Space Galleria. Thank you. I've been watching your videos here and there too, Space Galleria. You're a painter, and I should be learning how to paint from you because I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to retire and paint. Traversable. Hey, Stu. Hey, guys. What's up, Traversable? Hey, Trav. That's Cave Creature. Rick says, draw a line. Okay, yeah, I read that. You're right. No, I got to brush up on my perspective game to make sure I'm following all the rules so that Ethan can't take my portfolio and be like, well, Stu, you suck. No, that's joking. Oh my God, that's the British or the Berkshire, the British. That's the Berkshire Brewing Company talking. Yeah, right. Reminds me of Space Marines. Yep. So, okay, Pierce says lol. Then he says the pharmaceutical tranny gay orgy. To be fair, that would scare any enemy. You don't listen, man. Listen, motherfuckers. You don't want the American gay tranny pharmaceutical orgy Military coming here. I'm telling you right now, man. Nothing good will come of it. No. Anyway, so yeah, no, that should scare anybody. Should scare anybody. Awesome. Yeah, right. Reminds me of this. Or no, 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 no. Yeah, those look more like dove. Okay, so they can be doves then. Either way, doves would be cool actually. If I shade them with spots on them, they'll be pigeons though. If I make them gray, if I put little. Well, mourning doves and pigeons look a lot alike though, don't they? Uh, Akira's bike was cool. Like a Tron bike. Yes, like a Tron bike. Yes, I guess Tron did do that. Now that you mention it, I guess Tron did do that before me. Man, you can't do anything original anymore, man. All the good ideas are taken. You guys want to check something out, man? Look at this. Oh, this right here is called mental floss. I grew this myself. Oh, don't want to do that. I didn't. Does this is this this sucker right here? I grew this. Look, it's as big as my. It's as big as my ear. No, but this is called mental floss. Now, the thing that I want to tell you about this is somehow, somehow, some stoner got marijuana to taste like a menthol cigarette. And this is, I am not joking you. If you smoke this, it tastes like a menthol cigarette, but it has the initial taste is like scope mint. It's like mint scope mouthwash, but the aftertaste is like a menthol cigarette. My point being is if you are trying to quit smoking, you might want to get online and order some mental floss seeds, because I swear to God, it felt like I was smoking a cigarette when I smoked this thing. I don't know how these breeders or whatever are doing it, but man, I'm telling you, they make the most interesting strains, man, of marijuana, and it also has a numbing sensation, so I guess it's good for pain. But this is called mental floss. I have a strain called Huckleberry, which literally tastes like huckleberries. I don't know how they do it, man. But this and you don't add. I'm not adding any flavoring. Like people are like, well, don't you have to add flavoring? No, they are literally crossing different strains and coming up with all these flavors. I don't know how they're doing it, but I have huckleberry, which I ordered online, and a friend of mine had mental floss, and he told me, I said, hey man, I'll trade you a huckleberry mother plant, a female mother plant, for a female mental floss mother plant, and I've had mental floss ever since, man. This is its this. I mean, this is its own little weird strain right here. Like, there's nothing out there like mental floss. There's literally nothing out there. I'm telling you, mental floss is of all the strains of pot that I've come across of cannabis. Mental floss is the weirdest strain that I've ever smoked before. I don't know how did they make it? How did they make it? It feels like menthol. I'm not even joking. It feels like menthol. This right here nobody else in the country has this. I can tell you that right now. I am the only person that I know of. No, I can't say I'm the only person because I bet you the guy might have. Okay, I am one of very few people, possibly the only person who has this right now in his hand. There's no name for this strain. I'm about to smoke some because it's the strain that I have that's been drying the most. But basically, uh, my point being is the guy who invented this strain just recently died, and he's a Vietnam veteran. He's not related to me because I know I talk about veterans a lot because I have a family full of veterans whose lives have not been, I don't feel like having a family full of veterans is something that has been honorable or for me to be proud of. I feel like I have been made to feel ashamed that that it's like a secret. It's a dark, hidden secret to be hidden that that the men in my family are war heroes. Anyway, my point being is this Vietnam veteran who was a long-range reconnaissance patrolman. When he got out of Vietnam, he went to work before marijuana was criminalized in a lab, working for the government, and that was back in 1968, 1969. He shortly thereafter, 1971, Nixon criminalized cannabis, and he took his work underground with him, and he's been working on stuff like this ever since. And I have it in my hand, and I have not named it yet, but the nickname that we've come up with for this is called T420, and the guy's name was Tony, so Tony 420, T420. And what is there anything else I was going to say? Oh, he recently passed away before he could name this. So this right here is a very rare breed, and I have the mother plant. And this is some good stuff right here. This is some good stuff. So anyway, hold on one second. Oh man, I'm just relaxing. I'm not working right now. I just drew a little bit live. Trying to find my lighter. I had to change. It was really hot in here. I had to turn on my AC unit. Here, I don't want to carry this around and I'll drop it. Oh, I'm just trying to find my lighter, people. Just give me a minute here. The hell I did with it. I might have left it out in my car or something. Oh, here it is. I got it. So any other questions? I got two big viewers out there. Well, mint is a plant too. They probably no, they didn't. That's the amazing thing, cave creature. They didn't cross it with mint. I don't know how they did. They just found the right combination of all the different strains from around the world to make the flavor of mint. I'm not joking. Like, okay, one of my friends who coincidentally is a reformed liberal. He was a liberal about 2 months ago until I started talking to him. Now he's not Republican, or he was Republican years and years ago. He switched over to liberal. That's not working out. So now he's like me. He's done with both parties. He just came over because he works across the street from me, and he was like, "Hey man, let's smoke a bowl." I was like, "Yeah, let's smoke a bowl of menthol floss." And he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, that sounds cool." So I was like, "Dude, this tastes like menthol." And he took a hit, and he was like, "You're right." He said the aftertaste is menthol. I mean, it is. I don't know how. How do you do that? How do you make a plant that has no menthol and it tastes like menthol? I don't know what that was all about. No, they do not. They're not. There's no menthol in it because I grew it, and oh, I already have some in my pipe, so I don't even really have to. That's how good my pot is. The pot that I grow is so good that I don't even have to. Man, I only need a couple hits of this stuff, and I'm good. I'm good to go. If you see me constantly hitting the bowl, like if I'm on here and I'm like, and I keep hitting it like 4 or 5 times, it probably means that I bought the weed from somebody else. Because if I grow it myself, I don't, man, a couple hits, I'm good, man. 3, 4 hits. Look, I might repack this. This is the bowl I was smoking with my friend, actually, and it tastes like menthol. It's incredible. So it really tastes like I'm smoking a menthol cigarette and drinking a fucking beer. And that is weird. Because I quit smoking a while ago, but I want to smoke some of this T4's money. This stuff right here has a I don't know, man. It's kind of a sweet flavor, but not too sweet. It's a mild. It's like a mild. The guy really knew what he was doing, man. It's like a mild sweet flavor. As you can see, the buds are nice. That's a nice solid bud right there. This bud was huge. Shrunk down quite a bit, but I mean it's it's solid. It's like it's kind of spongy, but not real spongy. So let's put some T420 in there because this stuff, man, I don't know what to name it. If anybody has a good name for this, maybe I should relate it to Vietnam. Like, maybe I should call it something to do with Vietnam because he was a Vietnam veteran. Like Veterans Delight or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Veterans Delight. All his strains were for like post-traumatic stress disorder and depression and anxiety. All his strains were for combating that type of those type of issues. Stem. I'm kind of, as you can see, I'm saving this bud for last because it's the I'm about to come out of my financial rut like never before, Cave. Hey, Cave Creature. Minty Napalm. Dude, Napalm. Or, well, there's already Agent Orange. But Agent Orange isn't Napalm. Minty Napalm. Dude, oh, I might have to think about that. Airstrike. Call it Airstrike, basically. Fucking fucking. Minty napalm. Haha, it's hilarious. All right, man. This stuff right here. This is the T420. I'm about to smoke this live. Minty. This is the minty napalm. Action artist smokes minty napalm. I should change the title of this video. Hang on. I got to blow back through it because it's clogged. Man, I got to clean this pipe already. I just cleaned it. There we go. Oh, crap. See? And I dropped it. And dropping it isn't a bad thing, except I have a dog. Which means you drop something on the floor, it automatically has like at least one hair on it. But oh well. But I guess I'll just smoke the dog hair too. That's not enough. I want a little. Yeah, I'll take these little crumbs right here. Green is gold, people. So you could. This other stuff that he made that I have, it's called. I was lucky enough to get a few strains off this guy before he died. Just about 2 weeks ago, he died. His name was Tony. That's all I'm going to say is his name was Tony. And or maybe 3 weeks ago. No, it's about 2 weeks ago he died. It wasn't even a month ago. Not even it's not even, it's like 2 weeks ago this guy died. But one of the strains I had from him, you could literally eat it in a salad. When you smoke it, it tastes like food. It doesn't taste like a lot of people like to make it sweet or tangy or citrusy or like this, minty or whatever. This stuff tastes like something you would put in your salad with salad dressing and eat, basically. And it's a cross of Conspiracy Kush with Doctor Who. Is what he did. He crossed those two, made his own little strain, and it came out really good. You could literally eat that stuff, dude. I'm telling you. Okay, here we go. On your comic channel, be careful with that. YouTube might not. Dude, YouTube hates me. Are you kidding me? Be careful, Cave Creature. Be careful. I'm done with being careful, man. Being careful has got me nowhere. I used to be careful. I was so careful. I used to be so careful I was a fucking dork, basically. This shit, look at my eyes. Just in one hit. Look at my eyes here. I gotta see what. Look at my. I can barely open them. This is me opening my. If I just relax them. See that? Look at that. That's one hit of that, dude. One hit of this stuff, man. This is not a family show right now. I should put explicit activities on here, as a warning. What do you think of this background, man? Doesn't that look pretty cool? So I need I need windows. I need windows, cars down here, maybe some people walking. You know what I mean? Cars over here, street lights, people. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm joking. So, yeah, I need all that shit. I gotta throw all that in there. I suppose I can just take this right off here. I really like this picture, man. That says it all right there. There's a nut job. You know, I regularly find myself 75 or 80 feet in the air now. And there he is, man. There's Nutjob, man, with the gun on his back. You know what I mean? Look at that. I gotta put the cross right. The cross is there. He's got stars on his. He's got stars on his shoulder blades, stars on his kneecaps, crosses on his shins and forearms. He's a modern day knight. He's a zealot. He's on a crusade, and he's coming after a town near you, man. And you're gonna read all about it. Nutjob coming after a town near you, coming after your town soon. Speaking to the evil people, you know what I mean? And I was the original Christian. I'm the original Christian comic book creator with werewolves and, you know, I'm bringing in angels and all of that stuff. Should I draw some more and shut my mouth? What should I do, people? Oh, I finally threw out everything. I finally sorted out everything. I'm getting close to, I'm going to make an area where I draw. One commenter said, I want you, I can't remember his name. I should give a shout out to his channel, but he was like, I want you to designate an area in your house to draw to nothing but drawing. That's what he said in my comments, which would not show up either incidentally or coincidentally, but I read it and I was like, yeah, I probably should do that, which it's common sense, but man, I don't even know where my kids are, people. But there's Nutjob. Look at that dude, man. He's had enough. See that face, man? That's the face of a man who has had enough. Things are gonna start changing. I picture his voice. His voice is blown out from yelling and shit. Things are gonna start changing around here. You know what I mean? Like things are gonna start changing around here. If there was a cartoon, you know what I mean, like an animated series, some shit like. His voice totally like over mature and blown out and shit. You know what I mean? Because he's yelling all the time. Things are gonna start. I know someone who talks like that. Things are gonna start. Hey, Stu. He's like, hey, Stu, how you doing? Things are gonna start changing around here. That's like Nutjob. That's how I imagine Nutjob's voice, basically. Look at that shit. Look at that, man. That's a modern day. That's a real man right there, ready for combat. The full armor of God, like literally. Like this guy is done playing around. He's feeding the mourning doves and the pigeons. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll throw a squirrel in there. No, there wouldn't be a squirrel way up there, but you know what I'm saying though. It's pretty cool. This is just some pinup artwork that I'm gonna work on. I think I'm gonna do that too, by the way, coming after a town, or coming after your town soon, or coming after a town near you. And I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna, maybe when I get done with this, I'll just cut him right out and I'll go to a printing place around here that makes banners and I'll say, I want this right here printed. I'll color it in digital. You know, I'll color it right online with Google, with the Google. It's basically Google's. There's a free version of Photoshop online. Basically, I forget what it's called, but maybe I'll just color it with that, and I'll go to this dude I met fishing. Actually, has his own business. He said he can print anything, and I'll be like, I want this 6'5" life size, you know, huge. Well, in the armor, he's like probably close to 7 feet, almost 7 feet tall. He's huge. Nutjob in the armor is huge. He's like fucking, you know what I mean? Comes up to you. He's fucking huge. But my point being is, yeah, 6'5", and I'll have this behind me in my videos. A big giant prop, Nutjob, coming after a town near you. If there's corruption in your town, he's coming to your town. How do people like them apples? Yes, Photoshop CS3 is great, but I would have to pirate it, Cave Creature. I don't know. I can't afford to do things legitimately. Nobody wants to talk about that, Cave Creature. Oh wait, I'm a privileged white guy, so I'm just gonna call Adobe Photoshop and be like, yeah, I'm a privileged white guy. Okay, so you're sending me Photoshop? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a video of that, of me ordering Photoshop CS3 with my white privilege. He goes out in daylight because, believe it or not, like certain towns, like the town he lives in, is not big enough to be under full control of the you know what I mean? Like he's kind of on the outskirts. He's in a smaller city, and there is corruption there, but it's not as bad. And he does have a following of people like him, but no, you're right. He usually gets spotted. He usually gets spotted very quickly, you know, and somebody calls the police on him and he has to run. And that's how that works out. Like some people like him though. And they're like, it's like Spider-Man. Spider-Man went out. There was a period where I think when Ditko, what's his name? Steve Ditko. Ditko understood. That's what made when he did Spider-Man, I think that's what made Spider-Man believable, that the cops did not like Spider-Man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like okay. That's the thing about being a superhero. The police are not going to like you. I don't give a fuck. If you want to make your comic book believable, the police are like, even, you know, I don't care. I don't care. You know, you've heard me talk shit about Mike Miller, or you've read my comments. I'm not the type of person to hold a grudge or be bitter. So even Mike Miller, if you want Lone Star to be believable, the cops are not going to like him. Cops do not like they don't want heroes like fucking Lone Star around. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of them are on the take, and a lot of them also they want to be the hero. They don't want you being the hero. They want to be the hero. Do you understand how that works? It's like a psychological thing between like alpha male. It's an alpha male thing, I guess, is what you would call it. Okay, right. Cops don't like anybody. You might as well just say it like that. That's not a cop. How many people hang out with police here that are of the two people watching me, or anybody who wants to come on my channel? How many people actually hang out with police? Unless you're a police officer, it's like generally only police hang out with other police. Even if you have a relative that's a cop, I bet you don't like smoke pot in front of them. Like I had a cousin who was a cop and he got fired. He got caught DUI, drinking and driving. I have another acquaintance that was a cop, and he got caught embezzling. He stole money from the treasury. He was the treasurer, and he stole money from the treasury. The kid I went to school with. So
But my point being is, even people that have family members that are cops, I guarantee you, like they don't hang out. They don't like hang out with that family member very much. Maybe like on special occasions, it's like only cops hang out with other cops. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how that works. I got a comment. Let's read my little comment together. Someone liked your comment. The umbrella guy. Oh, I got 5 thumbs up. I said, so-called conservatives are racist and sexist, as far as I can tell. Successful conservative white males, the very few now who make it, are more inclined to then elevate women and minorities, not other white males who are getting their legacies destroyed in their own country. I see most conservatives judge a man by whether he has a woman on his arm or not. And female conservatives start channels speaking on behalf. No, female conservatives start channels speaking on behalf of their husbands now because they know other conservatives won't give one damn about what their husbands say. Bam, bang, ciao. 5 likes. Let me screen share that. Let me screen share that for. I got one. I lost a viewer. I got 1 viewer. Let me screen share that. Oops, that's cameraman. Let me share. Let me screen share that comment on the umbrella guy. 5 likes I got. No dislikes, I guess. I don't know. Can you dislike? I don't care if anybody dislikes what I have to say. I'm saying it, whether people like it or not. What happened there? I don't know how that happened. Oh, okay. I know how. Dude, I enlarged it too much. That's how. All right, you got to cut me some slack, man. There we go. Thought I changed the page somehow, but I just had it enlarged too much, so I didn't recognize it. Right there, so-called conservatives are racist and sexist, as far as I can tell. Successful conservative white males, the very few now who make it, are more inclined to then elevate women and minorities who are supported already through affirmative action, not poor white males, not other white males who are getting their legacies destroyed in their own country now. I see most conservatives judge a man by whether he has a woman on his arm or not. That's sexist. And female conservatives start channels like this girl here, right here. Where is she? I'll find her. Don't worry. I'll find her. Right there. Right here. I just saw her right there. This girl right here. She's starting a channel because nobody gives a shit what her husband says. Her name is Mindy Wheeler. I'm going to show you where she says that. Just hang on. No, let me just go right to that. Fuck what I was saying.
Me personally, why would I denounce that and just talk about politics? That's not with me. I'm totally confident, but I can understand. I respect people.
Her volume is low, boy.
I don't believe that people should knock on each other's beliefs. So I just wanted to cover this week because it's been an eventful week. Not only did I finally finish writing in depth the ending to Karma, which is really.
Man, my computer's see that? See what my computer just did, man? I'm telling you, man.
Been working on it for a long time.
Bullshit. Where'd it go?
Probably 2 years before you get to read it. So, in 2 years from now, I'll watch this video. And today that said, they don't believe comic state is a very good term because it distracts from.
I got all the volumes up as high as they go. Look at that. That's as high as it goes.
And while I completely
and this is as high as that goes, and you can barely,
like I mentioned in my last video,
hear this.
Nice to have a label, so we can all band together to
so let me see
to express our thoughts.
Where she talks about why she started the channel, how I got blacklisted.
Bad business because of it, but that was not the case. It was too offensive to people on Facebook, online, and we got working 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. We went 6 months without a day off. It's just so exhausting. That's one of the reasons why we ended up closing it down. People like to say we closed down our shop because my husband was too offensive to people on Facebook, online, and we got bad business because of it. But that was
see. So when her husband talks about this, maybe you can't. Okay, they cut my audio a lot, and they won't let me. I'm telling you, I'm being censored. They won't let me get. I'm telling you, even Comicsgate is censoring me, people. I am being censored. They won't let me talk about this stuff. She's just said, and if you don't believe me, at about 49 seconds in to how I got blacklisted from comics for being conservative. No, your husband. Nobody. You're okay, darling. You're fine. Your husband's probably a American-born white male, and if he talks, nobody will give one shit about what he says. Here, let me expound on that. No, not. Let me let Helen Smith expound on that. Here, let me talk. This needs to be talked about. Helen Smith and her Tucker Carlson. Helen Smith, Men on Strike, Tucker Carlson. Here we go. Running shit.
Very, very, because it was beautiful. And anytime you do see a wedding, that the hope is renewed. And child support, and it's not just legal.
For men to 29%. Here to explain the trend is forensic psychologist and author
forensic
of the
forensic psychologist.
So book Men on Strike. Dr. Helen Smith is here this morning. Doctor, nice to see you this morning.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me on.
We were having a bit of discussion about this last weekend.
I saw
Is she a man? Is Helen
And
Smith a
the
man? Look at that Adam's apple, by the way. Looks like Helen Smith might be a man. Anyway, I could be wrong. Look at that Adam's apple, though. Look at that Adam's apple right there in that jaw. Man, I'll tell you, man. But she does have kind of small, I don't know, man. She's got the curve. She's got the female curve in her back.
What? That men simply are giving up hope on marriage because they're being beaten down?
No, I don't think they're giving up on hope on marriage. I think what they're doing is they're looking at the cost reward. Men look at things in terms of cost analysis. And the penalties for marriage are so high and the rewards now are so low.
We look at a big part of how we look at that thing is cost and benefit analysis, but it's not entirely how, we might sacrifice that if we like something enough. But anyway.
First of all, there's legal costs of marriage. There are so many.
We might sacrifice cost benefit analysis because there's honor in it. If there's honor in something, then we might be like, who cares about the cost or the benefit, or whether it benefits me or what, I might die and everyone might hate me, but the outcome is the right thing to do. So there's honor in it. So, I don't even care about that. But anyway, here you go.
Saying, you know what, it's just not worth it to me. I'm going to be stuck paying the alimony. I'm going to be stuck paying for child support. And it's not just legal reasons. It's also psychological ones where men feel that basically they don't really have rights in marriage. Women hold all the cards now in reproduction and all kinds of things.
What did she say?
Basically, they don't really have rights in marriage. Women hold all the cards. Men feel that basically they don't really have rights in marriage. Women hold all the cards now in reproduction and all kinds of things, and men don't.
Well, that's all true. I mean, I agree with that.
That's all true. Well, that's all true.
All kinds of things, and men don't.
Well, that's all true. I mean,
well, that's all true.
I agree with that.
But I'm a sexist conservative.
But it still doesn't absolve men of the responsibility to stop.
She didn't say that. You're saying that. She didn't say that. You're saying that, Tucker, because you're a sexist.
Complaining about how the cards are against them and man up and become them, because you don't become a man until you assume responsibility.
What man would take such a raw deal? I don't consider that a man.
Well, it's not a raw deal. You derive deep satisfaction as a man by taking responsibility.
For what? For what?
For other people. That's the only.
Oh wait, what did you just say?
Deep satisfaction as a man by taking responsibility for other people. That's the only place you get people.
Oh,
it's not a raw deal. You derive deep satisfaction as a man by taking responsibility for other people.
No, I don't. No, I don't want to take responsibility for other people. Are you fucking kidding me? Why would you even say that? This is a conservative, by the way, people.
The only place you get deep satisfaction.
Listen to her.
So men are supposed to take a really bad deal and sign their rights away.
Oh, what?
And call that a good deal.
Oh, what?
Really bad deal and sign their rights away.
Responsibility for other people. That's
Oh, what? What'd she say?
Deep satisfaction.
Oh, what'd she say?
So men are supposed to take a really bad deal and sign their rights away. And
satisfaction.
So men are supposed to take a really bad deal and sign their rights away, and you call that a good deal. Understand economics. You did well, Nick. That's good.
Oh, you did it. Oh, gee, you did it. Oh, you signed all your rights away. Oh, so everybody else did do
feel that way.
But see, Doctor, here's where I get confused. And forgive me, I just went to a wedding last night.
And to see, Doctor, here's what I did. You ready?
I'm feeling all loved up.
Euphoric.
Very, very, because it was beautiful. And anytime you do see a wedding, that the hope is renewed, and it does remind you of what's great about marriage. And so you act as though marriage is such a raw deal for men, but you do get companionship, and you get love, and you get a family.
Oh, I can get that from my dog.
And I see men enjoying all of that and embracing all
I can have friends for companionship and friendship.
That's a different topic. Those are also things that you can get with a relationship. We're talking about the legal aspect of marriage. I'm talking about the political and the legal ramifications of marriage, where men aren't getting such a good deal there. And there are thousands of men across the country that...
I'm going to have to say her eyes are small and close together to a point, and she just happens to be a real female with a really good jaw structure. I mean, unless she's had a lot of surgery, but I don't think so. She has small eyes, pointy chin. She's very pretty.
Spoken to, and that will tell you differently. And the statistics are bearing that out. A lot of men, you think men need to man up, but to man up, you have to be getting something out of that relationship. What you're saying is that men are getting something just by having a woman.
Just having a woman around, whether she's whether it's you get anything out of it or not, that makes you a man.
Here's the thing: they're allowed. The one thing I agree with them is men are getting away with having children without marrying the woman.
Oh, we're getting away. Women aren't involved in that. Women aren't getting away with having children without men around. No, it's men are just getting away with knocking women up left and right and running away, right?
Away with it. What's happening with a lot of...
See, the conservatives hate men. This guy hates men. He won't say I hate men, but all his views on men are that men should take all responsibility and shut their mouths and just take whatever they get.
Number one, don't want them. The lower level women, what's happening is 40% of the women who are breadwinners, a lot of those lower level women are making $17,000 to $23,000. Those women use the government.
Women are making as much money on welfare as they could being married. And that's why I only have 2 viewers, because Comicsgate is not conservative. When I have 2,000 viewers like Ethan Van Sciver, then we can declare Comicsgate as being conservative. Do you understand?
Government to pay for themselves. They don't want a man. So rather than
women, what did she just say? What did she just say?
Man. So rather than some of men are for women, what's happening is 40% of the women who are breadwinners, a lot of those lower level women are making $17,000 to $23,000. Those women use the government to pay for themselves. They don't want a man. So
what?
Women use the government to pay for themselves. They don't want a man. So $1,000. Those women use the government to pay for themselves. They don't want a man. So rather than so
there you go. So when you're a guy like me, the women that I have to choose from don't want a man.
A man written this book? Why hasn't a man written this book?
Because men can't speak up. I'm here to speak up because people
what? Written this book. Why hasn't a man written this book?
Because men can't speak up. I'm here to speak up because people will actually listen to a woman.
What?
Why hasn't a man written this book?
Because men can't speak up. I'm here to speak up because people will actually listen to.
Oh, what? What'd she just say? What?
Written this book. Why hasn't a man written this book?
Because men can't speak up. I'm here to speak up because people will actually listen to a woman. It's really unfortunate. I want the next man, and I'm hoping by this book.
She wants a man. She can't find.
She
can't find a man to be with. Helen said, "Man, her eyes look pretty reptilian. Maybe that's why she's so pretty. She looks like V right there. Are you a reptilian, Helen? Dude." She looks like a reptilian woman right there. But anyway, go ahead, Helen. I swear to God, her eyes just shifted. But anyway, go ahead.
As a man,
this world is fucking crazy.
When I see commercials when men sort of speak.
So you get my point. Nobody listens to men anymore. You understand? And that's why this girl can't. Her husband can't have it. She has to come out and into the arena and defend her husband, just like in Hollywood. And there's that. And if people don't want to accept it, that's not my problem. That's your problem. That's my problem, or your problem. My problem is that people can't accept it. People just can't accept it, man. So there's that. And nobody's going to come on here and debate me because they can't. Nobody can say I'm wrong. Nobody can say I'm wrong. If Comicsgate ignores me, Comicsgate ignores me at its own peril, and Comicsgate is not conservative. End of story. That's just the way it works. Because I'm a real conservative. That's what I am. You know what am I? I'm a real traditional American conservative with traditional values. And that's how that works. I'm trying to check the comments here real quick. Here, let me go to history and navigate to my video that way so I can see the comments. Where's my? Oh, it's not there. I gotta go to events. Trying to check the comments section to see if anybody has said anything. Events. Volume. You get companionship. Let me. Cave Creature's hanging in there, man. What's Cave Creature? Why don't you come on my show? I'm gonna start having. I'm announcing guests. I got friends. I have friends and family that are fed up that are gonna come on here and support me because they see me getting kicked around by the community, and I'm all by myself here. So I got friends that are gonna start supporting me. My sister's coming on the show Sunday. And I'm going to hold up a woman as a shield too, I guess. I'm telling you, man. You can send me your copy, Cave Creature. Are you kidding me? That would be awesome. Cops don't like anybody. I didn't see that you said that. I'm good at video comments. Sometimes I write something and go back a few days later and there will be 300 likes. That's awesome, Cave Creature. You're badass. You should come on my show, Cave Creature. Your abilities are impaired by the minty nape. I was going to do a video on this subject, actually, about marriage. There is a whole load of programs on TV these days promoting marriage and specifically kids trying to get their parents to get married. Yep. They are trying to artificially boost the numbers back up. I didn't hear about that. You should make a video on that. You get laugh out loud. You get companionship and love. Yeah, that's what they say. Right. It's all false advertisement till you get married, and then she's miserable. Right. All the advertisement sucks. See, me and Cave Creature know this stuff because I've come out of the manosphere. I've always been a comic book artist, but I came to the comic book YouTube world through the manosphere. Then I decided to start a comic book channel. And my manosphere channel is called MGTOW Misfit, and you can go check that out. That's where I think I met Cave Creature. He was like one of my viewers in the MGTOW community, the Men on Strike community. I'm a comic book artist. If anybody doesn't believe me, here's my character, Nutjob. He's holding a shotgun. I'm going to draw a little bit. I'm going to smoke a little bit, draw a little bit. Not. So a gun would be basically, all right. The action would be somewhere up here. The action is where the shells come out. The empty casings are released, and it's usually just, all you need is a little rectangular kind of window looking thing like this right there. That's the action. It's usually like on my shotgun, it's somewhere right up around above the finger where you put your finger. And let's just say there's like one of those rails on it for a scope, and he's got like some kind of optics on there, so you can do like another little box shape. Like it's all like stacks of guns are just like stacks of like rectangles, and maybe like cylinders, basically, if you do a revolver, or the barrel. And it usually attaches, there's like a rail or something, you know what I mean? And it usually attaches in two places, with like a little screw that you tighten down. Basically, something like that right there. Attaches into, it slides onto this little rail, and then you tighten down these little screws, and you got your optics. There's your action. The stock of this gun comes up. You can probably see it peeking out here a little bit. Now you can either grip it around here, or I put a handle on it so he can grip the handle almost like it's a shotgun with a pistol grip, so it's built for combat. And then there's an area down here where he can grip it with this hand right here. And then this is just, you know, it's. I think I'm gonna put little. I think the barrel's going to be inside of a case. The barrel's going to be inside of like a case, outer casing with holes. You know what I mean? For so heat can release and shit like that. But yeah, something like that. That's how that goes. So there he is. Oh, I forgot to get around to the other part. So the back of his armor. Let me get a piece of scrap. So the back of his armor, I was thinking like, because it's all his armor, okay, this is pretty crazy. So the back of his armor, I was going to have it to where these things pop out like Batman, to where he can glide. So he has like a, you know, so I was thinking about giving him like a grappling hook launcher. So one of these is like a laser sighted machine gun, and then another one launches a grappling hook, like Batman sort of. And he can just like launch his grappling hook from the top of a building. He can like swing and like release himself, and then like these glider things pop out, and he can pretty much glide down to like any part of the city he wants. You know what I mean? But he can't fly necessarily, unless he has an attachment to his armor for flying. I'm gonna get to that later. But for now, yeah, I might be able to make it to where he can glide if he has to. He can't like full on fly, but he can glide like Batman. That way he can he can basically retreat off a tall building. If he gets caught up on top of a building, he can retreat by gliding off of it at the very least and trying to land on the outskirts somewhere and get the fuck out of Dodge. You know what I mean? Basically, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. And I was thinking about having it look like Angel went like not an angel, but Angel, the X-Man's, the robotic one's wings, like strips of metal that it's like smart metal. It's like a smart cape. Hey, there's one of my ideas, and nobody better take it. He's got basically a smart cape, so it adjusts it's a smart cape that like adjusts itself however needed by the way he moves it. If he moves his body a certain way, it's the cape like the glider like adjusts itself so that he can turn and shit like that. Smart cape technology. I'm going to drink a little more beer, smoke a little more weed, because I'm very happy. I'm having a good time. This is fun. I'm having a lot of fun today. Just so you know, if you pop out the chat window when you are streaming, it makes it a lot easier to see what people are. I know I've done that before. I don't know why I don't do that. There it is. Because I don't see anything usually, but we'll see. We'll see. I got the chat window up. So you click the three dot, yeah. And then the chat. Okay, I got the chat window open right now. Oh, man. I have 2 viewers. I guess one of them might be me. I'm sorry that Comicscape's... I mean, I'm not sorry, but, you know, it's too bad Comicscape is not really that conservative. I'm going to make a hamburger. I'm about ready to go. I'll come back on later and I'll work on this piece with him over the city. And I'll do that live. And I'm going to break out the pens and do some inking live. So I hope people enjoy it. And I just wanted to kind of chat about Comicsgate and do a little bit of live. I wanted to test this setup because I'm going to do live drawing now. Let's see what's going on. Nothing. What's this? Comicsgate Live with Lady Alchemy. Who's Lady Alchemy? With Lady Alchemy. No, that was Umbrella Guy. Wait, let me see here. Lady. Is this Lady Alchemy? Who the hell is Lady Alchemy? Oh wait, I guess that might be her because there is some comic book art here. Let me look on Google. Who the hell is Lady Alchemy? Oh, it's a female Indiegogo. Big surprise. No, that's cool. It looks pretty cool. What's actually? I'm not against women. I'm just pointing out women already have affirmative action. Women already have affirmative action, and it's like the day I start pointing that out, Ethan coincidentally, features a female graphic novel person. You know what I mean? So whatever, man. I'm not immature like that, but I guess a lot of people are just immature. I guess Americans are just immature, and I gotta wait for Americans to catch up to what's really going on. But that's cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, women. We already know women. We already know women are doing. Women are in comics now too. That's what the SJWs want. They don't want what it's white males, Ethan. It's white males that the SJWs hate, not women. Does people understand my point? Cave Creature, do you understand my point? It's white males that the SJWs don't want in comics. It's conservative white males. Not, women. They want more. Ethan Van Sciver is just helping out the affirmative action and the leftist campaigns by helping more women. You can't make this kind of stuff up. You can't make this kind of stuff up, man. It is incredible. I don't really care. I'm the one that wants everybody in comics, including women and white males. But when you help a female, females already have felt help. It's called feminism and affirmative action. Women, you just heard, I just played Dr. Helen Smith saying women are holding all the cards, basically, in marriages. So Ethan Van Sciver is a feminist, basically. I'm sorry, but he's basically a feminist. He would rather help out women, basically. I'm telling you. Then it's like the one group that's getting screwed is the group that nobody wants to help, and it's poor white males. It's poor, and everyone can say, "Oh, that means." I'm just saying that I want. Of course, I want a hand up. I don't want to work at my at the job that I have 40 hours a week for the rest of my life with no retirement. My job has no retirement. My job has no upward mobility and no retirement, and it's the best job I've ever had, and it's the only job I can get. It's the best job I can get without going through more school, and I'm 50 years old and I'm done with school. So of course I want my someone to give me a handout of having to be. I'm the slave that pays for Lady Alchemy's kids. You know what I mean? If Lady Alchemy has kids and she goes on welfare or gets food stamps, or you know what I mean, I'm the one that pays for her health insurance. I don't have health insurance. I pay for Lady Alchemy's health insurance. But Ethan Van Sciver is not going to help me get a career in comic books. He's going to help Lady Alchemy, whose health insurance I pay for, and all her kids' health. I pay for Lady Alchemy to have full custody of children and have all her kids and have health insurance. And if she needs food stamps, I pay, and WIC, I pay for her to have food for her to have. You know what I mean? And then, but I'm not. But and guys like me can only take this so long, and we're going away. Like there's very few guys like me left that are paying for all this. So the big joke is not on me; it's on you, Ethan. You keep helping all these women, and then when all the men are destroyed and there's no men around anymore, and the women, and the country falls on top of itself, you can sit there and watch a civil war and watch all the violence and watch. You'll have to protect your children from so they don't get eaten, Ethan. You know what I mean? You'll have, unless you're a Satanist and you want all this to happen. I don't know, but you keep helping women and effeminate men and minorities, Ethan. You know, that's really big. That's really safe of you, man. You are playing it safe, Ethan. I'm just saying, man. This is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen happen in my life. It is incredible. It is incredible, man. Yep. Women are running the show basically now. That's how that goes. That's how that goes. I don't see anybody making any comments. Are you commenting? See, now I got to go to comments anyway because I have either Endless Cave Creature left. I don't know. I'm going to get going soon anyway. I'm hungry. The big joke is not on me. It's on America. That's the sad thing about this. Or it's on this country because I don't call this country America anymore. This is a communist country where working class whites are paying for everybody else to have too many. Like if I say, man, white people aren't or basically I was talking to my mother who calls herself a conservative, and I said women don't need men anymore, and women in America don't want to have children. They don't want to have babies. And my mother said that, well, good. That's what my conservative mother said to me. She said, well, good. And I said, so you're a liberal then, basically. I'm telling you, man. My conservative mother, who voted for Trump, gave me a liberal answer. She answered me like a liberal. And I said, so you're okay that, Americans aren't having children, but the rest of foreigners are coming here and having tons of babies. You're all right with that, though. You know what I mean? Having 8, 10. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I don't know what to say, man. It's not my fault. I'm just pointing it out. I'm just pointing it out, people. And if you don't want to hear it, well, then you don't want to hear the truth, I guess. I don't know. So I'm having a good time, and I'm gonna go eat. Actually, feeling let me see something. There we go. Yeah, your comments aren't showing, Cave Creature, inside my Hangout window. I can only see your comments if I watch my own video on YouTube. That's how that. That's why I don't do it that way, if I recall now. So let me see. Yeah. I'm still here too watching. Well, in the end, it's all, yes, we live in a Marxist communist country now. Nobody's going to come on my show and debate me, and nobody's going to invite me on their show to talk about it, because that's just the way it is. And the leaders of Comicsgate are misleading you. The leaders of Comicsgate are misleading you, and I want to talk about it more, but I'm going to go eat a hamburger because there's nothing I can do about it until conservatives start being real conservatives and get rid of affirmative action. Maybe affirmative action seemed like a good idea, but now I watch veterans worry about their children while foreigners own restaurants now, and I'm done with it. And then everyone's like, "Oh, help the veterans. Help my veteran father's legacy then by helping me. You want to help a veteran? Help my veteran father who almost died in Vietnam a couple times. Help his legacy by helping me then, if you care so much about veterans, I guess." Anyway, thanks for joining me.